It's okay. I was hoping nobody's seen. No, the guy on the left is George Brown. Yeah, what's right here? Yeah, the straight guy, yeah.
Welcome to the John Bailey Arena for Lacrosse Junior A Poco Saints Lacrosse, where your Saints are taking on Burnaby tonight. Time to meet the Burnaby Lakers. Number 00, Arjun Gill. Number 35, Declan Morrison. Number 2, Kian Yargo. Number 5, Alexander Cartwright. Number 7, Sean Morris. Number 8, Daniel Battiston. Number 10, Caitlin Urquhart. Number 12, AJ Payne. Number 13, Phoenix Trolling. Number 14, Will Weinstein. Number 15, Connor Welch. Number 16, Tommaso Barron. Number 20, Oscar Lucas. Number 21, Wyatt Hofer. Number 23, Ben Hobson. Number 25, Kian Syed. Number 27, Luke Harish Blight. Number 31, Michael Hibbert. Number 44, Spencer White. And number 77, Gavin Segu.
Poco, get him, stand up. Poco Saints in the house.
Time now to meet your Poco Saints. Number 1, Colby Highland. Number 88, Astor Brown. Number 2, Nolan Ross. Number 5, Connor Zavitz. Number 7, Tyler Learn. Number 11, Parker Malat. Number 14, Lincoln Wall. Number 15, Chris Fournier. Number 16, Luke Fury. Number 17, Chase Everly McLean. Number 19, Jordan Meach. Number 20, Levi Toohey. Number 21, Carter Donahue. Number 22, Cole Cameron. Number 25, Dylan Illett. Number 27, Connor O'Brien. Number 32, Josh 80. Number 34, Josh Mills. Number 46, Riley Burford. 77, Elijah Terry. Coached by Travis and Jeff Cornwall. Assistant coaches Ian Patterson, Kevin Shoemaker, Ryan Adams, Ryan Mills, Josh Wall, and Dave Peter, part of your management group. And your trainers, Philip, Kaya, Omar, and Maddie. Please now stand up, remove your headgear. Here's the lovely and talented Ella with our national anthem.
Our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see rise, the true north strong and free. From far
It's a massive Friday night in Port Coquitlam, but it's also the start to an even bigger week for the Saints, which begins tonight. Over the next 7 days, tonight included, the Poco Saints will play 3 times, twice against Burnaby and then another against Delta. Why are these games so important? Well, after a surprising 1-3 start to the season, the Saints have an opportunity to turn things around in a massive way, and also in a short period of time. It all begins tonight against the Lakers, and BC Sports TV has you covered. Welcome into BC Sports TV, ladies and gentlemen. It's the usual cast and characters for the most part. We got producer to the stars, Keith Gagne. To my left is cameraman extraordinaire George Parra. My name's Tino Farah, and for the first time ever, we have Mitch Milani, assistant coach with the Junior B Tier 1 Poco Saints. Welcome to BC Sports TV, Mitch.
I'm excited to talk some lacrosse, especially Saints lacrosse.
Pretty comfortable environment for you, feels pretty safe to say. You're pretty familiar with a handful of these Saints. Specifically, there is a couple that you've had some experience coaching in the past. Maybe tell us a little bit about who those guys are.
I think there's too many to name here. we'll begin with that guy taking the face off. He's got the best sponsorship in the league right there.
Oh, does he?
Bottom line view. Nolan Ross, one of my favorites for sure.
He actually leads this team in penalty minutes coming into this
We don't
game.
want to talk about that. Good airtime, though.
Well, we are underway. Ashton Brown will get the start in goal, as he has all year long. Govin Sangu is going to get the first shot right on, and Brown with an early test. Sangu gets wrestled into the boards, bounces back up, and appears to have shaken that off pretty well. At the other end, Arjun Gill is in goal for Burnaby, his second straight start, as he was in goal at the Swamp on Wednesday night in their loss versus New West. Poco would love to get an early going start here, but AJ Payne foils things as Elijah Terry gets knocked down from behind.
I know Coach Cornwall wants to get the ball swinging, get more movement on offense, been a little stagnant on that left side, so we'll see if they can do that tonight. Yeah,
it has been a little slower start than what Poco had anticipated on the offensive side of the ball. Tonight would be a great way to kick off this 3-game stretch with an early start. It remains scoreless now through the opening minute. Burnaby goes behind the goal on a set motion in front for Spencer White. Had his hands tied up nicely at the last second by, guess who? Nolan Ross.
There you go. That's what we want to see.
Must have heard you talking about him from
Probably.
all the way up here. Josh Mills. He wants to have a big start as well, as he usually does. His hands are free up top, never afraid to shoot. Chase Hemmerling McLean gets the rebound and scores. A bit of a twister release as he picks up the rebound from the end boards and hammers that home past Gill.
Yeah, Chase doesn't miss too often from in front of the net. Coached him for the last couple years now. Really good hands. Able to twist it. Top corner there. Very patient in front. Nice goal.
Patience is the key word that you use there, I think, because there's still traffic all around him by the time he picks that up. Not the easiest loose ball to pick up in that short amount of time, but he still has that patience, like you say, to outweight the goaltender and really change up his angle on the twist.
It's his first year, I think, really of Junior A action fully. Last year he led B1 in goals, I believe.
Yeah. Had a few games called up last year at the Junior A level. I know this coaching staff is pretty high on him for what he should be able to produce if their projections are correct. He's committed to the University of Utah. So there's a drive through by Oscar Lucas, and he answers back. A nice drive through the middle and tucks it underneath of Ashton Brown. In the blink of an eye, we're back at even.
So Saints tonight, one of the things they need, stop Lucas. That's number one on that side of the ball. Nolan there does get beat on the cut. Really well-timed cut, really good finish, even under duress. But that's number one for the Saints. That's the guy you have to stop. You have to commit extra people to stopping him.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Oscar Lucas specifically, one of those guys on this Burnaby team that I don't know if you're necessarily going to be able to fully stop him, but if you can contain him, that's your recipe for success. Of course, coming off of that Minto Cup win last year with the Coquitlam Adnacs, now on the leadership group with this Lakers squad. Tommaso Biron with a good interception. He takes it away from Mills, and he's off to the races. Spins away and throws a pass, a tough one over to Alexander Cartwright. Good pressure by Mills on the back check.
Really good press there by Mills. See this offensive set, calm it down. You got a full clock here.
Tyler Learn will begin the possession in the corner as Terry will look to clear space now off ball. Here's Lincoln Wall back to Learn. That room just dissipates immediately, but Learn did a good job to get to the middle and get a shot off. Arjun Gill with another big save into the logo.
Tyler Learn's first game playing offense for Junior A this year. We'll see what he can do.
Hemmerling McLean, a savvy veteran move there. He knows he didn't have to pick up that ball, just decided to bat it down with the 8-second count going against Burnaby, and he'll start the possession off. Wall goes over to Malott. Parker Malott had 3 goals the last time Poco played a home game on Sunday. Wall, the leading goal scorer of this team, has a shot deflected, and it will stay Poco possession. Burnaby didn't realize it.
They didn't realize it? This is where Poco, they're going to probably go to some sort of set play, set motion here, try and get a good look on net.
Maybe with some tired defenders on to take advantage of. Cole Cameron will swing back across, and the lefties will do some work. There's their motion. Open in the middle is Terry with the dunk, and a great stop by Gill. Went airborne a little bit, but still got a piece of it, and Burnaby this time will look for a clearer exit of their zone.
That was perfectly executed, just not in the back of the net.
Now Nolan Ross off the carpet. AJ Payne is down at the wall while Ross goes the other way. It's a breakaway. He scores. Did he ever hear you? Right off the top, Poco back in front.
Well, knowing Nolan, he probably blamed himself for that Lucas goal, so he had to get a goal of his own. And I think he's probably the most versatile player on this Saints team. He can play defense, he can play offense, he can run the floor, he can take face-offs. Great lacrosse player. He shows it right there.
And the unfortunate part about this is at the other end of the floor, AJ Payne went down in some discomfort, and Nolan Ross went the other way. Of course, Burnaby is not going to be too happy that they had a man down while that was going on, but I mean, that is the right call, a scoring chance going on. It's unfortunate, and AJ Payne not putting a ton of weight by the looks of things on that right knee, which is already taped up. And you see the brace on his left leg as well. He missed so much of last year with an injury. And a senior player for this Burnaby team, that is a big loss if he's not able to return.
Some more of our sponsors this year.
Already out of the lineup this evening is Jeremy Launt, the captain for this Lakers team. Now down AJ Payne by the looks of things as well. And if he does return, of course, we'll forward that information on as quickly as possible, but that does not look good for AJ Payne, and he's going straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. 2 big losses now. Can other guys step up for Burnaby? That's the question.
That is always the big question. The next man up mentality. Who is going to be that driving force that picks up the slack? Right now, though, Poco, they want to carry this momentum. 2 early goals, which is something we've talked about already, is wanting to get an early start on the offensive side of the ball. That's not going to help the case. So Elijah Terry unintentionally deflects that into his own bench. Burnaby's going to start the possession. It's Daniel Battiston who will fire over to the far wall. Cartwright from the outside on this righty strong set. Battiston, hard swing to Lucas. This is the matchup now. So Lucas goes back over, and that deflects off the stick of Phoenix Trollin. He's got his hands free, and he'll shoot that off the left pad. Big rebound. Lucas reaching for it. It's batted forward, and now Poco maybe has a chance to go with numbers. Oh, a tough loose ball to pick up, and Wyatt Hofer came over to close the gap quickly as well.
Yeah, on the other end there, Riley Burford, a guy that plays B1, was matched up with Lucas. As a coach myself, I don't love that matchup personally. I mean, you got a guy like Levi Tui on your team, but we'll see how that develops as the night continues.
Pretty big responsibility for a young defender to take on the premier offensive talent running things out the O-gate for Burnaby. But, you know, those are the switches that happen when things just get improvised a little bit, and sometimes you just have to step up that next man up mentality like we already talked about. As Caden Urquhart with a nice move. Dylan Eilert recovered, though, and got a stick in a lane. Ashton Brown will pick it up and lob that up to Luke Neary. He's going to try to run onto it. One hand, couldn't quite knock it down. Sean Morrison, look out. Dylan Eilert almost able to catch right up to Daniel Battiston, who kept his feet moving nicely. Now Yargo flips through. Oh, what a handle by Cartwright. He still shoots and just wide. That would have been a pretty one had it gone. Oh, and they may say that Brown got a piece of that because they reset the clock. Now Lucas. He's watched on by Neary. A little bit of a better defensive matchup this time around for Poco. Still able to get a shot from the opposite side, though, and Brown kept the stick down.
Burnaby is getting a couple looks through transition, though. Transition and movement early in the shot clock.
I will say about this Burnaby team, of course, last year was a season that was not one that went their way, and that's putting it nicely, of course, but just a completely different look with this Burnaby team, and dogs is what I would call them.
Yeah,
like a lot of hard-working players.
I've noticed that as well, including this guy, Sagu, with the ball here. Can really run the floor. He's got great speed, great in transition. But, yeah, they play hard. I've seen all their games so far.
Phoenix Trollen called up from the B1 team. Those B1s played in this very arena last night. Here's Connor Welch. He'll switch and become a righty for a moment. Now back to his usual left. Trollen tries to go underneath. He'll spin topside, fakes the shot, can't get it off. White will shoot, and that's blocked by Levi Tui, the captain for many reasons, and that's one of those reasons right there. Now Tui on the run, a bouncer, more of a skipper if anything, off the goaltender and out of play. That's a big reset coming up now for Poco.
That's a great statement shift by Tui right there.
Coming off of his rookie campaign with the Halifax Thunderbirds, drafted 59th overall in last year's NLL entry draft. So that'll trickle behind the goal. Here's another one of the call-ups for Burnaby, Will Weinstein. He's another guy that played in this arena last night. Had himself a pretty good performance a couple games ago for their B1 team, putting up 5 goals. Not a bad start to his Burnaby career. Now Yargo shot, another stick in the lane, and it's Nolan Ross again, and he may have another chance if Neary can find him. Neary might just take this. It's a partial break for him and fires it wide. Ross on the rebound, blocked off by Michael Hibbert, and Ross wisely throws it out to the safety man, being Dylan Eilert.
That's another one of those guys, dangerous in transition, can stay up, play offense. Luke Neary.
Yeah.
Hopefully catches the ball next time, though.
The former first overall pick
Here he is
Neary, and there's that one-handed hammer shot. I think if you're wearing the number 34, maybe that goes in, but maybe not for a lot of defenders on this team.
Well, Mills will definitely tell you if he scores. We know that.
Back to the corner, this is Urquhart. He's got Trolland coming in. Lucas is the late man, knocks down the pass out of midair. Now Welch, first game in a Burnaby jersey since the home opener. Oh, an around-the-world attempt. Was that Oscar Lucas? It was, while falling. Can't get it on target, and Jordan Meach will clear the zone.
Very clean breakouts for the Saints so far. Burnaby's not really pressing them. It's too easy.
I got to wonder if that's an adjustment that the Lakers may make. Here's Elijah Terry, one of the new recruits to Poco in his first year with the Saints. Backhand shot from Wall. That didn't miss by much. Now another chance for Terry on a toe drag, and he would be denied by Gill. Went down a little early, but a big stop for Arjun Gill.
Given that was the first chance for Lincoln Wall, I think.
First time we've really mentioned him on the offensive side of the ball, which is pretty outrageous considering he's got 9 goals on the year so far.
That could be good, though.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Should mention as well, Lincoln Wall just 1 goal away from his 50th career, 1 point away from 100 in his junior A career, as Lucas denied his second of the period. So we're almost halfway through this frame. Big rebound all the way towards center. Carter Donahue can't come up with it. Cartwright's got to be careful of that center line and sees help in the form of Urquhart. Now across, here's Yargo. Tries the toe drag. Good defensive stand as Josh 80 came over just in the nick of time. Still possession Burnaby, 15 to shoot. Battiston saw a man open for a moment. That moment goes by the wayside, and that'll be another block by the Saints, and the reset will go to Burnaby.
Contesting shots really well defensively. I'm a little surprised watching Burnaby last couple of games. Their movement is not quite as clean as I've seen.
Their 1 win this season so far has come away from home, but it is a bit of a chess match trying to feel out Poco in the early goings, who have had a good start. No goals, obviously, after that stretch of, 3 collective goals overall between the two teams, but things have settled in here. Emmerling McLean has one of those two. Terry almost had the third goal for Poco. Now he'll feed Hemmerling McLean. They'll play a bit of catch from the outside. Terry to the goal. He's muscled off. Hobson forces him outside, and Learn with a late shot in the clock, and Gill takes that easily into the logo. Now Hemmerling McLean, he's already caused, there's a heavy hit led by Lincoln Wall. You don't see that too often.
Trying to get himself in this game. Only one shot, one big hit.
As Phoenix Trolland, watched on by Connor O'Brien. Here's Welch. He can really shoot, and he bounces this one in and out of Ashton Brown's stick. Josh 80, formerly of the Nanaimo Timbermen, picks up that loose ball and fires up to Neary.
I know Coach Cornwall is pretty excited about his 5-on-5 defense. I think if they keep this game 5-on-5, they're looking pretty good. I think they've only allowed 3 goals the last 2 games or so on 5-on-5, he said.
See, those are
his stats.
Those are the stats that I wouldn't have if we didn't have the coach
go.
of the B1 team
his
here.
Stats. Travis Cornwall.
Should also say as well, no Jeff Cornwall on the bench this evening. Celebrated his 35th birthday yesterday. Happy belated birthday, Jeff Cornwall. Terry takes it off the bounce, 15 on the shot clock. Here's Wall. See if he can get going. Got to get through Hofer. His backhand towards Hemmerling McLean didn't quite work out, and Tommaso Biron will pick it up.
I really like what I'm seeing from Hemmerling McLean so far, though. He's got confidence in this game. The last couple of games, I think he had a hat trick last game, so keep building that confidence.
Confidence can do wonders for a player once they find it. You just see they look like a completely different player if they're feeling good about their game. Speaking of, here's Trolland. From my understanding, had a couple of goals against you guys last night, and right on cue, he ties the game. Phoenix Trolland feels good in this building.
Yeah, he had 3 against us. We did still win, but this kid can play, man. Look at this. One-on-one move. Down the alley, still finds a nice lane for a beautiful bounce shot, which is hard to do off the turf in comparison to the wood or the typical surface.
That is a really interesting point. I mean, I've made this comment before. Lacrosse, especially Canadian summer ball, is really unique in that one night you're playing on concrete, one night you're playing on turf, one night you're playing on wood. And the Burnaby Lakers, one of 2 teams that play on hardwood, it's a little bit of an adjustment period now all of a sudden coming over to turf.
Yeah, especially when it comes to loose balls.
And Sagu gets one back once again. First lead of the game now for Burnaby right off the face-off, and another guy that you've got experience with.
Yeah, coached him the first couple years in his junior career. Like I said, great athlete, great speed. He'll always take his shot when he's got it. I'm really happy to see him at this level, performing well.
He was acquired via a trade with Langley. Brought Connor Welch over as well in exchange for a 4th-round pick in 2029.
Good trade by Burnaby.
Pretty good trade by Burnaby.
Like
and
it.
2 character guys that you get in your lineup in Connor Welch, who made himself known in this lineup in their very first game. Speaking of, here he is with possession.
Yeah.
Scored 2 goals against his former team in Burnaby's home opener.
Yeah, he can take face-offs, too.
Very versatile player. Delayed call now coming up against Poco. Burnaby with the goaltender on the bench. Lucas is the extra man. Trolland is going to run point here as they start their motion. Here's Lucas. They want to go behind the net for Welch on the dunk. The pass just hit him in the shoulder. Looked like he was playing a little bit of dodgeball there for a moment. And now we'll see our first power play of the game. It'll be a cross-checking minor, and just trying to see the number of the players. That Connor O'Brien, I believe, is going to take a seat. Extreme Threads is the official uniform supplier for the Poco Saints and teams around the world. Your one-stop shop for customized team or company apparel, embroidery, screen printing, sublimated uniforms, and more. ExtremeThreads.ca. So Burnaby's power play. They've only had 6 power play opportunities this season, which is by far the lowest in the league. That being said, 2 for 6 on the man advantage this year, and they're going to try to improve that number a little bit. Should also say this is only their 4th game of the season, so that is part of the reason why they have had limited power play chances. But still, a number that stands out. If they get some more repetitions, you have to think that that number will improve a little bit on its own.
Yeah, you would hope so. A couple good opportunities to start with.
Definitely. Shots and rebounds is what they're looking for on that first possession, as Mills will do a little bit of work on the far wall with Lincoln Wall. 4 to shoot. Mills gets top side and puts that just over the goal, and Burnaby's power play can leak their way back on.
Yeah, Mills hoping it went off the top of the shoulder, but not quite. We'll see what Burnaby can do with their second possession here.
Oscar Lucas is going to be the quarterback here. Daniel Battiston at the far shoulder. Caden Urquhart rounds out the righty side. On the near, it's White, and behind the goal going now is Yargo on the dunk. That didn't work out.
They tried that little top seal with the drag, hit the guy behind for the dunk, but Brown read it really, really well.
Got to wonder if that's a play drawn up by Marcus Clarich, one of the assistant coaches on this Burnaby team, of course, of the Vancouver Warriors. Never shy to try the dunk from behind the goal.
Little insider information, I would assume so.
Here's Lincoln Wall. It's Mills again trying to clear some space for him. Wall thinking about going to the goal. Hofer on the good double team. Hofer closes that gap real quickly. Got a little help from Sean Morse, and this has been a good penalty kill so far for Poco, but they've still got 25 seconds left to kill off. Yargo to the trailing Lucas. Everybody getting a touch here as they again try a set play, but it didn't work out due to a bobbled pass. Yargo stopped by the glove of Brown. Rebound picked up. Lucas has it now. The penalty clock winds down to 5. Now Urquhart to the middle. Another nice save by Brown, and rebound hits the official. The penalty is over, but Burnaby still with possession. So excuse me, is that? No, it was indeed Connor O'Brien who's in the box. He's right in the middle now, trying to do some work on White. Good switch, and White will try to keep possession for Burnaby, but just a couple seconds left on the clock, and that's another good start, as we've talked about here for Poco. They can cross off a good penalty kill to kick off the game as well.
They say your goalie has to be your best penalty killer. He certainly was there.
Yeah, what was that? Probably 4 or 5 saves on that penalty kill.
Inside the dotted, too.
Mills tries his power move, taking a peek towards Lurd, and that's a hard pick set by Cole Cameron. It's going to be an interference call. Mills knocked the stick out of the hands of Syed, but still able to make the play up to Trolland. He has the go-ahead, or the game-tying goal at 2-2, followed up by Govind Sangu, who gave Burnaby the lead, in which they find themselves with now. Good stick, and Burford has a chance to go. Over to the far wall, Fournier will drag, he'll spin, he'll shoot, and Gill finds that in his stick.
Good awareness by Burford, finding the guy with a little O skill out there. Fournier's played offense this year. He's also playing defense now. He's got some transition ability. Yeah,
he's been listed as a defender this year. Played all of last year as a forward. Drafted 13th overall to this team in 2024. It's a second-round pick, as Lucas, who was a first-rounder back in his day going into the draft, now he'll sprint back to catch up to Ross. Fournier might have another chance. He'll shoot, and Gill is 2 for 2 on Chris Fournier shots.
That was great effort. Was that Lucas on the back check?
I believe it was.
That was great effort to catch up to Nolan there, but nice pass, nice chance. Again for the Saints, got to put those in the back of the net.
Another one of the reasons why Oscar Lucas is wearing a letter for this team, with plays like that. But a little bailed out as well by his goaltender. Here's White, and an awkward-looking save for Brown, but caught enough of it and stepped out of the crease to make sure that rebound doesn't fall dangerously towards the goal. Now Mills on the flip from Jordan Meach. A couple of fifth-year players for this Poco team. Mills to the goal, and did that catch post? A power move in front, and now if Poco is able to find possession, got to be careful not to play that to Mills, who stepped through the crease. Weinstein sidesteps before checking Mills, and Burnaby will clear. Now Luke Harish-Blight hounded by Lincoln Wall, who makes sure to let him hear about it. Lucas back onto the turf. Josh 80 fell down, but gets back up to try to tie him up. Now Lucas to the goal, denied by Brown. Rebound falls to the corner, and it's going to be Poco possession on the crease violation.
Again, Lucas, extra attention. He's not getting it right now, and he's getting way too many chances.
Now Wall gets a nice pick from Hemmerling McLean. Wall hangs on to it. Looked like he thought about the pass at the last second and may have just double clutched on it.
Burnaby's doing a great job against these lefties. These are some of the best lefties in the league, and they've so far shut them down. I think Chase has 1 goal.
That is a big reason why Poco wanted to go all in this year, is some of those big lefties they got going for them. Josh Mills, of course, being the quarterback of a lot of that offense with possession now. Just back to that last play as well, Nolan Ross with another interception. He's had a sneaky good start to this game.
He's a good player. That's why he's got the sponsorship, baby.
Only the best.
I got a plug there. Sorry, guys.
Lincoln Wall with it again. He just hit the post a moment ago as we are under 2 minutes left in this opening period. 3-2, the visitors lead over the hometown Poco Saints. Wall directing a bit of traffic. Tries to feed down to the corner. He's laid out as he made that pass. Little slow to get up. Mills with a riser. That goes off the end boards and back over center.
That's junior A lacrosse right there. Lincoln gets past the first guy, probably trying to find someone to pass to, just gets leveled. Great help by Burnaby.
You know, Burnaby wanted to take the number of Lincoln Wall after he laid out his man at center just a couple of minutes ago. Chalk that up as 1-for-1. Cartwright, a low pass to Battiston. Now Lucas in the middle. He's open and puts it wide. Oh, and he gets hammered into the boards just after shooting. Connor O'Brien towing that line, and Tui comes up with the ball. Here's Fournier, hard to miss him with that leg sleeve on his left leg. Should mention as well, still no sign of AJ Payne since he went down with an injury earlier in this period. Now in the final minute of the first. Hard pass over to Terry. He'll step into a shot, fought off by Gill. Big rebound, and it'll be picked up by Syed, and he's off to the races. A 2-on-1 out of nowhere. Syed's gonna take it himself, and another big stop by Brown. He's been good this period as well.
Very good. I think Burnaby's outplaying Poco right now. On the road, first period. They've started strong this season in every game.
Poco not happy that there wasn't a reset. They were strategically not picking up the ball in their crease so they could get it under 30 seconds. They do get their reset. Burnaby not happy about that either. Both benches unhappy with the officials right now, but we're down to 10 seconds. Net is empty, 6-on-5. Cameron with a nice move. Got a man open. It was Learn. Just threw the pass to him a second too late. Now Gill wants to try towards the empty goal. Looks like the ball just hooked on him a little bit. Wouldn't have had enough time either, and the Lakers can head to the dressing room holding on to that 3-2 lead. Mitch, thoughts through 20 minutes?
Just on that last play, I think they were trying to find some sort of cross pick, a guy coming off the cross pick. For some reason, Learn was wide open as the guy in the middle. So I guess they tried to feed him, but breakdowns on the 6-on-5 happen a lot. In terms of the period itself, I think before you can win, you have to keep yourself from losing. And Poco so far, transition. Lucas is scoring, getting in the middle, getting opportunities, taking penalties. So those are things that Poco needs to clean up, especially the transition, and especially covering Lucas a little bit better.
I'm sure that there will be a message similar to what you just issued from head coach Travis Cornwall once everybody gets back to the Poco bench or the dressing room, excuse me. We'll take a breather for the time being. In about 10 minutes or so, the teams will be ready for face-off to kick off period number 2. Thanks for joining us on BC Sports TV. We'll be back after this. Back inside the John Bailey Arena for period number 2 between the Poco Saints and the Burnaby Lakers as Poco has made their way back onto the floor. I assume that Burnaby will be doing so as well, right on cue. 3-2, the visitors lead through 20 minutes. And if you missed any of those opening 20 minutes, well, no problem. We're here to get you all caught up. Chase Hemmerling McLean scored a beauty on a twister in tight to make it 1-0. About 30 seconds later, though, Oscar Lucas brought things back to even. Nolan Ross got one back to take the lead back for Poco, and then a stretch of 2 straight goals for Burnaby, one from Phoenix Trolin, one from Govid Sagu, and now Burnaby has the 1-goal advantage heading into this period. It's BC Sports TV, which means it's cameraman extraordinaire George Parra, it's Tino Farah, and it's Mitch Milani to my right. Mitch, what do you want to see differently now from Poco in this middle period, specifically with the start? Because they had a decent start to the first period, but what can they do to kick things off here to put themselves off on a good start?
I think first things first is limiting transition. That's first thing. Sagu scored that latest goal on a semi-breakaway. So limit those transition opportunities. Play 5-on-5 this period, and they should be able to get back into their game.
We will kick things off 5-on-5. So we saw a little bit of time with Poco on the power play. Oh, Turf Monster took down Connor O'Brien. He's back to his feet. That'll be batted down towards Ashton Brown, who was busy in that first period, but was strong as well, especially while Poco was down a man. He stopped 12 of 15 first period shots. Arjun Gill in goal for Burnaby. Stopped 12 of 14 as Wall dives and scores. That's big for him 30 seconds in, and Poco has tied things up at 3.
Yeah, it also helps to get this guy going. Lincoln Wall, pure goal scorer. I love that pick there by Mills just to get a little separation underneath for the dive. Beautiful goal.
And you could just sort of see at the right of the screen on the replay, Lincoln Wall had been on the floor for maybe 4 seconds, right off the bench. And then, like you said, that high pick set by Josh Mills to open up the lane. And Lincoln Wall is somebody who can certainly fill the net, as can Phoenix Trolland, already done once so far today.
His favorite place to play here in Poco.
Yeah, as we talked about, 3 goals last night for the B1s. 1 in the first period here. Battiston looking to go down to the corner. Caden Urquhart was waiting for him. Just 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Burnaby's got to go to goal here. Battiston with the swim, and hands tied up nicely between the combination of 80 and Meach.
Poco, very little pressure defensively there on that rep.
Now Tui wants to go to goal, and we saw him do something similar in the first period. Just bull rush the defender and get a shot, and I think strategically placing that into a spot where there's a rebound to send it out of play, you get the fresh 30 and your offense is already on the floor. 2
low shots on both opportunities. He said, Lincoln, I can do that too.
Of course.
That's what he was saying.
Of course. And, giving him a bunch of credit for a strategically placed shot. It may be as simple as just the defenseman special on a fast break, just trying to hammer it 5-hole. Maybe we'll have to ask him about that at some point. But
sure.
Either way, almost gave his team the lead. Burnaby now with possession. This is Connor Welch. One hand, he'll spin away. Here's Trolland again. Good switch to bring Fournier up in time, and he blocked that pass down. And now just a couple seconds, a nice shot by Trolland, but Brown puts that into an area where he had a defender.
I want to see Poco's offense here. Get the ball swinging to both sides. Work both sides of the floor.
We'll start off with Elijah Terry. Spent the 2025 campaign with the Nepean Knights over in the Ontario ranks. Put up 80 points in 27 regular season games played. You see why the Saints went out to pick up Terry in an offseason acquisition. Now Cameron, he can shoot as he falls into a switch. Sort of an awkward looking hit, but he bounces up. He'll have to do so again after he fell. Now Weinstein puts it down low, and he'll make the sprint over to the bench. Is Spencer White, another one of the B1 call-ups. He has room. He'll shoot off the mark, and it falls into the crease of Ashton Brown.
There's a little miscommunication there between the two Saints defenders. I don't think which one knew who they had or what was going on, who was high, who was low.
Now Ross sees a lane open up. He tries to leap over Arjun Gill, who stayed with him the whole way. And Nolan Ross is feeling it this game, man. He's already got a goal. He's had a few big defensive plays, blocks, interceptions, and plenty of scoring chances as well.
Tino, Nolan Ross, sponsored by?
You just know that is going to be something repeated plenty throughout this game.
No, but it's probably because I texted him last night before the game.
Have yourself a big game, kid.
Yeah.
Now Lucas, he's tied up by Learn. That's a better defensive stand on Oscar Lucas as Tyler Learn gets the tough matchup this time around.
Looks like he's playing defense this period, maybe.
Another one of those versatile players that you mentioned. Guys on this team that can do a lot. Parker Malott can certainly put the ball in the back of the net, as we see there. 3 goals in their game last Sunday versus Nanaimo, and he gets his first on the board here this evening.
And Malott's one of those players, very smart, very high IQ. One of those players you don't really want the ball in his stick too long, but when it's in his stick, it's in the net.
Parker Malott will pick up his 4th goal of the season. And now watches on from the bench while his team will defend. Burnaby answered well in the first period when Poco took their first and at the time only lead. See how Burnaby responds. Now a hard hit, and that's going to be interference. We'll see. The Burnaby player has not bounced back up just yet. It was Connor O'Brien with the hard hit, and yeah, Burnaby already down a man with AJ Payne. Oh no, AJ Payne is back on the bench, excuse me. So Daniel Battiston bounces up, and hopefully he's gonna be okay. Yeah, AJ Payne now is gonna be someone that we're going to want to watch. Last game that Burnaby played on Wednesday, Jeremy Lont played in a limited role. He was injured and wound up just staying on the bench for almost the entire game as sort of just an extra coach, almost like that moral support, an extra leader on your bench. And AJ Payne wears a letter for this team as well. Maybe that's going to be a similar role. Cartwright can't get it through Luke Neary. Man, the blocks that Poco have put up in this game so far have been noticeable, to say the least.
Sometimes that's on the offense. It's tough to tell sometimes. If there's not enough movement or if you're not moving your feet as a ball carrier, it's easier to block shots, obviously.
But those are big plays from the defensive end that really rile up your bench in a good way. As you hear the Poco bench come alive after Neary gets that block. May need more of that. Battiston, good to see he's back out. Doesn't even miss a shift after he was shaken up, but Brown stops him. Tough pass over to Ross, who's in a tough spot now. Poco unable to clear, and Burnaby now starting to press, and they got some tired defenders on.
We brought up the press in the first period. That was a great play by White on the far side to take away the outlet down the floor, and that's what caused the 8-second.
And an errant pass looking for Cartwright. By the looks of things, Burnaby will not be able to take advantage. Well, maybe now, as that pass from Ashton Brown goes up into the rafters. A few sets of fresh legs are able to come on. So now Burnaby, almost got caught with too many men on. It almost feels right now like Poco is giving them free chances, but Burnaby is just not taking them. So Welch going to work with Oscar Lucas. They get a switch. White in the middle. Lucas will shoot, and Brown with another save. Let's see now if Poco can actually clear the ball here.
There we go.
A little easier. Josh 80 waiting near center.
Progress.
Now Malott, he's got a lane, but on his wrong side, and a good read by Hobson to come over and close that gap. Now Wall looking to make it 2 straight for Poco. Mills all alone, scores! That is not a man that you want to leave alone in front of the crease. Josh Mills doubles up on the lead.
Yeah, Wall once again put the ball in his stick. He's dangerous one-on-one, draws a double. Beautiful pass, and then Mills again, the patience out in front, puts it right over the shoulder of the goalie. It's all about that one-on-one though. When you have players on your offense that are able to generate and beat players one-on-one, it changes the way your offense can play.
And it was Ben Hobson, the defender, coming over. And I mean, when you have, like you're talking about, if you have someone, well, I'll finish that thought in a moment, because Phoenix Trolin has a chance, but Dylan Eilert angles him out. When you have someone like Lincoln Wall, like the defender, you have to make the decision. Am I going to go and slide, or am I going to maybe leave that lane underneath open? And in some cases, that slide is the right decision. In this case, it left Josh Mills wide open, and that's probably not someone you want to leave at that spot.
Yeah, you also have to gauge who's that player I'm leaving open to, right?
How well have you read the lineup? How well do you know your opponent?
It's a lot about playing defense right there.
That shot from Trolin goes off the glove of Brown. Burnaby with a reset. Battiston. Neary leaps to make the block, puts himself in a tough spot, and Daniel Battiston takes advantage. You see Neary go airborne here, and that desperation move trying to block, it opens up that lane, and Burnaby takes advantage.
I want to say that was a nice goal by Battiston, at least the fake was, but that's really bad defense. I'm not gonna lie. You can't get baited by the fake. 2 players got baited by the fake. You know, not just one. That's pretty bad. As a coach, I can say that, I guess.
As a coach, you're allowed to say that. The broadcaster's not allowed to say that.
Especially when you're as big as Luke Neary is.
So, Burnaby, there's the answer we were talking about. They're within 1. And we've talked a lot about the response from Burnaby, like what does it look like? How are they going to come up with it? Now the question sort of becomes, what does the answer back from Poco look like? Yes, they're in front, but Burnaby's had possession a lot as of late.
I think the one thing you even told me in intermission, Burnaby has an identity. They're dogs. They know it. Every single player knows it. They're going to keep fighting this entire game. Poco hasn't really found their identity all season yet.
Yeah, still looking for it, and that is one of the reasons why this next stretch of 3 games, this one included, feels big for Poco this season. Is Welch with a shot around a screen, and that's going to be a crease violation against Burnaby. Nolan Ross will clear the line and let the offense slowly work on. Nolan Ross is going to stay in play. Oh, they tried the backdoor cut to Wall. Mills takes it off the bounce. They're halfway through this shot clock. Mills trying to drive. He's going to go to goal, and Gill. That's a big stretching save from him on Josh Mills.
That's something to watch moving forward. They've had really good success with that underneath drive, pushing that low defender out of the way.
Now Syed steps into one, and that is not going to beat the hulking Ashton Brown, 6'2", 170 pounds. If you put it into his chest, chances are that's not going to go through him.
No, really good goalie, really good positional. Kind of funny, though. We have an Ashton Brown on our team. There's 2 Ashton Browns in Poco.
Oh.
NA is just hilarious to me. But
What are the chances?
I know, right?
Is he also from Nova Scotia?
No, he's not. He's from Poco. Not as special.
Now Battiston, the latest goal scorer for the Lakers. Trolin, Cartwright, and he scores! Ooh. Oh, that may have caught a deflection, or maybe he just fooled Brown to the short side. Either way, Burnaby has tied this game up at 5.
That looked like it got deflected. Let's see. I mean, based on the trajectory of the ball, I would say so. That's a tough one to save, but Meach is kind of screening the goalie there.
You're almost in no man's land there. Again, I mean, we're talking a lot about defense in this period, but you're sort of, Meach is caught between screening the goalie but also trying to block the shot. He's maybe just like half a step too close or too far from his counterpart. If he's maybe just that half a step forward, he can get on hands or maybe have a better chance of blocking it.
I would say, though, that's probably more on the goalie based on the angle where the goal was scored from. But, again, it kind of got a tip.
It's a game of inches, that's for sure, as Sagu gets knocked down into the boards. He'll make the sprint over to the Burnaby bench. 10 seconds on the clock. Here's Cartwright. The chess match continues here. 5 on the shot clock. Lucas trying to drive through. He takes a hit up high. No call, and Brown will look forward. A tough pass over to O'Brien. And he just winds up batting it towards center. Oh, they get it over just in the nick of time. Nolan Ross, right place, right time.
Nolan staying and playing 2 shifts in a row, I think.
Oh, and he gets a nice split dodge. He's going to go to goal. Oh, and he missed the net. He had Gill looking the wrong way, but couldn't tuck it under the glove. And then Poco takes an interference call. What a game from Nolan Ross. We don't pick 3 stars on these broadcasts, but I mean, halfway through this one, Nolan Ross is certainly making a campaign for himself.
Yeah, we'll see who wins the game. But like I said, Nolan could play defense, he could play offense, he could get breakaways, he does it all. Take face-offs too.
Now White on 80. Tries the backhand. Nice reception by Yargo. Scores! A good 2-man game on the far side, and Burnaby reclaims the lead.
Yeah, you can hear it from the bench right now. Burnaby's clearly fired up. Great pass, great patience, and then just opportunistic finish. Not on the defense really there. I mean, Fournier got beat a little to the inside, but just great skilled play by the offense.
Yargo in his 2nd year with this Burnaby team. 3rd-year junior out of Vernon, British Columbia. And Burnaby is not done yet. Hawrish Blight, and Learn with a good trail check. He got into the back of Luke Hawrish Blight, and now Josh 80 will turn and burn in the opposite direction.
A lot of times on those 2-man games, too, it's not usually the first pick that gets open, it's the second.
Oh, here's Wall. What a move! And what a save by Arjun Gill.
What a save is right.
Are you kidding me?
Just the hand, throw the hand up there.
Outrageous. On Lincoln Wall, no less. Some of the best hands in this league, and he will be thinking about that one if Poco is unable to find the result they want. Now he sees Mills behind the goal. Open Mills on the dunk, denied by Gill.
That's something we're seeing more and more in Junior A with the rules, right, is those dunks. And you can kind of get a little funky and fun with the different ways you align players like Mills and Wall and use their best skills.
Yeah, remember the new Lacrosse Canada rules in place, more so matching up with the NLL style. No more cylinder on the crease dives or dunks. I just wonder how that would have benefited a player like Silas Richmond had those rules been in place when he was still a junior age player. Of course, Silas now waiting to play his first game in the PLL with the Philadelphia Water Dogs, soon to be in the NLL.
Yeah, he can score some highlight reel goals, that's for sure.
Can he ever? Once upon a time, him and Josh Mills and Lincoln Wall really were a 1, 2, and 3 punch in that Minto Cup season for the Poco Saints when they made it to the big dance for the first time in their franchise history. Now Mills in his final year of junior ball. Hemmerling McLean has it. Nice flip over to Mills, and he fires it off the iron. Beat Gill that time. Could not beat his skinny red friend. Now a great loose ball pickup by Hemmerling McLean, and Poco will look to take advantage of a fresh 30.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal shift by Chase here. Hemmerling McLean, again, the confidence thing. Like a couple games ago, he wouldn't have made these plays. Here he goes.
Now he goes to the goal, and a nice stick stop by Gill. Yeah, I mean, you said it, the confidence. It's a crazy difference visually on Chase Hemmerling McLean. He just looks like a different player right now.
Has all the skill, it's confidence.
Now Yargo rolls that to Cartwright. Another righty strong set featuring Phoenix Trolland for Burnaby. It's White looking to clear space on Cameron. Yargo flips over to White and steps down in the crease before he could get the shot off. Poco will take it from their own zone.
I don't know if Burnaby did that intentionally, but they went after the O guy on defense right there, right? Cameron was stuck back on defense. You take advantage of that matchup.
Now here's Wall. Sees a lane underneath, and again, he cannot beat Arjun Gill.
On fire.
What a matchup this is becoming. Arjun Gill versus Lincoln Wall. Now to the corner. Back up top from Malott, and now they'll try the lefties. Mills gets the high screen, goes back across the body of Gill. Now Burnaby might have a chance for a breakaway. Urquhart is off the bench, and Syed can't get the pass off to him in time.
Poco is very fortunate there. They sent a double at the guy near their logo back here. That was a breakaway twice over.
Now here's a crease violation against Welch. Everybody going to goal right now. 6.5 minutes left in the second period. Shots are almost dead even, just favoring Poco slightly. The score, though, 6-5 for the Lakers. Mills and Wall will pair up again. Hofer with the matchup on. Josh Mills with a blind backhander.
He's saving everything. Every angle, every shot, backhand, forehand, between the legs.
It was interesting on Wednesday night. Arjun Gill got the start for Burnaby and looked a little shaky early on, but in the third period, I would actually argue for the second half of that game, looked like a completely different goaltender when you talk about the confidence. And it feels like even though Burnaby lost that game, the confidence has carried into this matchup as well.
That gives your team confidence when your goalie is stopping shots like that, for sure.
Urquhart to Cartwright, blocked by Neary. Urquhart gets the rebound. It's off to the other side now. A swim from White. He's triple teamed. No way he can find a shooting lane in that pile, and Brown will look up now in transition. The press from Burnaby appears to be giving the Saints a little bit of problems this period. Oh, a friendly Poco bounce, as Ross winds up getting tied up. He feels there should have been a penalty, and the official right there in the corner disagrees.
There haven't been many penalties. I think there's been a lot of debatable ones that haven't been called.
Last call for 50-50. Last call.
Oh, a good stiff check from Josh 80. He has defended a lot in this game, especially in this period on Poco's problematic breakout. Now Welch looking underneath of Brown. That's an easy stop for him. And Poco wants to go on the break. Oh, almost a good handle by Burford, another one of your guys.
Yeah, Burford, great loose ball guy. Really, really good loose ball guy. Super quiet. Really funny personality.
Lets his play do the talking.
For sure.
Now Terry fakes the shot, feeds Mills. 4.5 to play. Mills going downhill. He'll tuck the shoulder. And can't reach around Gill. He's down to the crease, so Poco can't score with Mills still in there. He got out maybe just in the nick of time, and now we do see a penalty, and it's on AJ Payne. I actually don't know if he's been playing this period all that much, but at the very least, while they're not going to be happy that he's taking the penalty, it's good to see he's moving all right.
Yeah, he's limping a little bit on his way to the penalty box there, but this is Poco's opportunity. I've actually really liked what I've seen from the offense. This has been one of their best periods of offense this season, in my opinion. They just can't beat the goalie, so we'll see if they can do that here.
Now just looking to cash in. Sponsored by Porker Williams Boston Pizza, a family restaurant sports bar serving great food, including pizza, pasta, wings, and more. Proud sponsors of Poco Junior Lacrosse. Hemmerling McLean had to reach for it. Wall goes behind the goal as he does so often. Malott in front. Falls back to Mills. He'll turn and shoot. And that goes right into the Lakers logo on the chest of Arjun Gill. Don't think that was the look that they necessarily wanted as they set that up for Malott in front, but Mills still gets a pretty heavy perimeter shot off.
Yeah, not ideal right in the gut of the goalie, for sure.
Daniel Battiston will try to work on Levi Tui, and that is just a punishing tag team of Levi Tui and Luke Neary. The power play unit making their way back on. They're thinking about the hidden ball trick. They're going to try it. It's in the stick of Hemmerling McLean. Good communication by the Burnaby penalty killers. Just 50 seconds left in the penalty to AJ Payne. Hemmerling McLean. Now Terry, he'll shoot wide. Rebound missed, Mills. And now here comes Hofer. Oh, he couldn't pick up the loose ball. He'll get a second chance now and scores! Wyatt Hofer has been described to me many a times as the fastest man on the earth. And you see a bit of his wheels here. Had enough time to pick up that loose ball after failing to the first time.
That's your favorite player, I think. I've done my research on you. I think that's your favorite player. But good finish there. Near side on the goalie. I mean, again, transition, though. I mean, how many opportunities transition even on the power play? This needs to be cleaned up for Poco.
This is something you talked about at the end of the first period, at the start of this period. It's clear to tell you are a ball knower.
It really comes down to effort on changes a lot of the times. It's simple, kind of.
And now the power play. It feels like they need a goal here. Hemmerling McLean to Mills. Back up top. Hemmerling McLean feeds Terry, and one more to the top, and Gill down on a knee, able to get the shoulder over in time. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Here's Mills on the skip. Now he's knocked down from behind. No penalty to be called. Still picks it up, though. He's still down on the floor. Keeps the cradle going, and now there will be a Burnaby penalty coming up to Hibbert. And if he's not careful, he may take another. And now we got the crowd forming. And Poco doesn't want to take the extra penalty here. Mills is mixing it up with the Burnaby defender. It's Sagu.
Yeah, I don't know if I really love what Mills just did there. He retaliated after he was definitely going to have another man-up opportunity, and he took his anger out on Burnaby, but that's just the way Burnaby plays. They're playing hard.
Rycor Construction has been providing quality craftsmanship to the Lower Mainland for over 15 years, specializing in residential renovations from a bathroom makeover to a full home renovation. They're family-owned and operated and pride themselves on an exceptional client experience. RycorConstruction.ca. So the officials want to have a discussion.
Okay.
Mills again pleading his case, but an argument that he's not going to win. I don't even know if Hibbert realized that he had the original penalty, but he is in the box now for Burnaby. And I mean, I don't really know what the discussion here is going to be. I guess if anything from Poco, they're saying there should have been a penalty previously already. And then, I don't know, I guess they're saying Mills was pushed on top of him, but maybe this is the officials trying to keep control.
Yeah, they're probably trying to plead their case, but that's not much you can do. The refs are going to decide what they decide.
And it will be Burnaby ball, which feels like insult to injury for the Saints, who were, I mean, seconds away from being on another power play.
The defense, though, for Poco, it's supposed to be their strong group, their identity of their team. We talked about Burnaby's identity. We need to see some more physicality from them, maybe take control of this game.
So it will be 4-on-4. I would argue that really benefits somebody like Lincoln Wall, who can work with the extra space. But right now he's watching from the bench into the final 2 minutes of this second period. White to Urquhart. Good close off by Islet to come over, but Brown still had to make a save with the left pad. Loose ball battle. Burnaby starting to trickle out some defenders, and that's the right call as it fell right to Dylan Islet.
Here we go, Lincoln Wall.
Here he goes. He likes this matchup. Tommaso Biron angled him wide. Hemmerling McLean back to Wall, and the late man on will be Parker Malott. Wall to Hemmerling McLean. Hard pass over. This is Terry working on Morse. Back over to Wall. Biron again with that matchup. Wall scores! Finally, he's able to beat Arjun Gill on his drive to the goal. Lincoln Wall gets Poco back within one.
Hey, you called it. Ball knower here. Tino goes again to the underneath move, and with Chase there in the middle of the floor instead of down low, that he doesn't have the anchor that he typically has. So he's able to beat him underneath, reach far side, and score. Lincoln just has such incredible length. He's long arms, long legs. He can reach around people.
6'4", 180 pounds for the lefty out of Port Coquitlam. And interesting as well, there was the first shot that he had taken earlier where he was robbed by Gill. That was a far side, back to the short side move where he was robbed into the near side corner.
Yep.
Then he switches things up on his next chance where he tries to go far side as Urquhart goes the other way and puts it off the post. So interesting that we're seeing Wall really switch up his shot decision on Arjun Gill, who has got the better of the battle a couple of times on him recently.
Here he is with the ball again, but a lot of times you're looking at the bench asking, where do I shoot on this guy?
Right into the logo might not be the move this time, but Poco wants that early shot, hoping for last possession. There's 37 on the clock, 22 on the shot clock, so there's a separation of about 13 seconds. Now to be picked up off the turnover. Poco will collect, so the shot clock can be turned off. Now Burnaby causes a turnover, and they're going to call timeout. They'll have 19 seconds to do some work. And Poco, who thought that they were about to be in a position to hold for last shot, now all of a sudden they're going to have to defend.
Yeah, I think the Saints are kind of upset. I think they tried to call a timeout, but they weren't able to get it off. But the refs got to see it. So we'll see what Burnaby can do here.
So now, obviously, we're going to see Arjun Gill come to the bench. Obviously, we're going to see the 6-on-5 possession here. What has to happen for Poco to have a successful end to this period here and hold Burnaby from going back up by 2?
Don't let Lucas get the ball. Period. Anyone else can shoot it, and obviously they have the extra man, but you're just not letting their best guy beat you here.
And, I mean, a little concerning from my point of view right now is that, I mean, yes, Poco is in the middle of their huddle, but you might have heard some commotion on our ambient mic. The Poco bench barking at the official, feeling that they should have been able to call that timeout there. Of course, they were trying to. Maybe the official just didn't realize it, but my concern now is how much of that timeout was spent going at the official.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be spent on, okay, what are we going to do here on defense? You're right. So.
You just hope that, you know, their defensive side of the bench was focused enough in that they can have their stand here. So remember, it is 5-on-4 right now. It was a 4-on-4 possession, and with the goaltender on the bench, the math is mathing. So those penalties come to a close. It'll be 6-on-5. Cartwright comes off the bench. It's 5 seconds remaining. Here's Battiston on their motion. He'll shoot. Brown didn't end up having to make a save. There's a last-second chance towards the goal from Oscar Lucas. Came just as the buzzer goes. So it's a 7-6 lead for Burnaby and just one final period to go. Do you feel now, Mitch, was this a better showing from Poco in the second period than the first? Where do we need to see them improve into the third?
I think it starts, you pointed it out at the end of the period, it starts with the bench being composed and calm, first of all, because you don't want that to leak to your players. Second, the experience of some of these guys. I mean, you have Tui, you have guys like Nolan Ross, guys like Mills, Lincoln Wall. They've played in big games, Minto Cups, so they have to lead in the room. But I think adjustment-wise, we're continuing with the transition. That definitely needs to stop. I really like what I saw from the offense. I think the offense is getting it going now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a big third period from them. They're moving the ball. Everyone's getting touches. Lincoln's getting a lot of looks. So that needs to continue. I think it's more so stop the transition, and they'll be okay on defense.
More of the same for Poco, as we talked about at the end of the first period. Let's take a breather. Third period action on BC Sports TV is coming up next. Georgie, I'm going to say it. 20 miles, 20 smiles, baby. Welcome back to BC Sports TV inside the John Bailey Arena. Home of the Saints, and tonight they're facing off against the Burnaby Lakers, who have the lead 7-6. Tino Farah, it's Mitch Milani on the call as we make our way towards the face-off for period number 3. Let's get you some leaders through the opening 40 minutes so far. As mentioned, it is a 7-6 lead for Burnaby. Phoenix Trolin and Oscar Lucas. Man, Phoenix Trolin sure does love playing in this arena. Man, you were right, man.
Good player.
Good player. Having himself a 3-point evening tonight after scoring a hat trick last night at the B1 level for Burnaby. Oscar Lucas also has a trio of points. Govin Sagu and Daniel Battison each have 2 points, each having a goal and an assist. Meanwhile, Arjun Gill, who has been outstanding in this game, as in .813 save percentage through 40 minutes. Ashton Brown has a .788 save percentage. And Tyler Learn and Lincoln Wall right now leading the way for the Poco Saints with 2 points. Tyler Learn having 2 helpers, Lincoln Wall having 2 goals.
Yeah, I like seeing Tyler Learn up there on offense. I've coached him the last 5 years. He's playing a little bit of B1 this year, but another versatile player. Really provides a little bit of quickness up there on offense for them.
Curious to see now how Poco moves through this period, how, if at all, they were able to settle themselves down in the intermission, as there's some contact behind. Levi Tui appears to have knocked Wyatt Hofer into the boards, and that looks like a shoulder injury by the looks of things, as Hofer, not a ton of movement in that left arm getting back to the bench, but he is going to stay there. That's always a good sign before going down the tunnel. See if he rejoins the action as Wall can't beat Gill 5-hole. That battle just continues.
Yeah, a little bit late on the pass. He was open that entire shift, I felt like. Good cut by Lincoln, though.
Keep your eyes on 14 in white tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's Cartwright, excuse me, over to Spencer White. Lucas on the screen. White kept it. Now he'll feed Cartwright, who scores short side on Brown. Just over a minute into this game. And Burnaby back in front by 2.
Spencer White with the assist here. I think he's a first year for Burnaby, so a nice prospect for them, but nice shot near side. I kind of want to say that's on Brown. Sometimes the Poco wants to give that alley shot, but it was a good placement. They've got him on the near side, I think, 3 or 4 times in this game.
Yeah, I think Alex Cartwright was one of the guys who scored the short side goal on Brown earlier in this game. So,
oh, there you go.
Assuming that is correct, I mean, they've got their scattering report figured out here, and now the hill just got a little bit steeper here for Poco. By no means is it time to panic here at all. Still,
no,
plenty of time left in this period. They're only trailing by 2. They're getting their looks offensively. Hemmerling McLean was open for a moment there. Mills will shoot on the run. Hemmerling McLean is boxed out. Otherwise, he was there for that loose ball.
Yeah, Hemmerling McLean had a nice slip there. Inside, Mills has got to keep his head up.
Now Lincoln Wall playing a little defense, causes a turnover. He's got O'Brien going to the goal, and Wall, probably the right decision there, shoots, gets his own rebound. Now O'Brien can peel off to the bench. He'll be replaced by Hemmerling McLean as Mills will wait for him to get on.
Here comes the motion.
Learn to the corner. Ross all the way across. In front, Mills. He's closed off. He tried to shovel it under, and that's a lot of contact by Wyatt Hofer, who's back on the floor for his first shift since going down.
You gotta love the slide there. I love the way Burnaby plays defense. They play physical.
Mills appears to be in some discomfort as he gets onto the bench. That was a hard hit by Wyatt Hofer out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Now Yargo, he'll try a bouncer. Brown got a good piece of that, and Fournier with a good loose ball. Now he might be in some trouble. Poco has a man up the floor if he can come up with possession. Burnaby trying to hold Poco in their own zone, and they do. There's the 8-second count against the Saints.
A lot of these plays by Burnaby, simply effort. Transition plays, loose ball plays, slides, press.
Trolland to Battiston. One more to Urquhart. So again, righty strong for Burnaby. There was a man down in the middle. It was Yargo. Now Lucas has two defenders run into each other. Battiston looking for the rebound on the crease, but Brown takes it away.
That was a nice slide there by Poco.
Here comes Connor Zavitz. Thinking about staying, he's instructed to peel off to the bench. Mills doesn't miss a shift, watched by Morse. Now Malott with a goal in this game. He would like to find another, as would Malott. He'll drag, good stick check by Morse. Got another piece of Mills as the ball stays in the corner, and Mills is knocked down from behind. That's gonna be interference. Terry comes over to have a chat with Sean Morse, but Mills looks like he's gonna stay and play. There is no penalty being called. It's just a loose ball push on Josh Mills and a fresh 30 for the Saints. Terry will step into one, and Gill takes that into his pad.
Good save by Gill once again.
He just appears to be getting better and better the longer this game goes on. Again, just looking down, AJ Payne out for another defensive shift. I really thought he was going to miss the rest of this game with how he went down, but happy to see he's all right. Welch around a screen. Brown got a good piece.
With these Poco possessions, we're seeing one or two guys holding the ball a little bit too long. They need to be using the entire 5 guys on the offense, swinging the ball. Sometimes when you're down, you get one guy wants to beat the whole team mentality.
Hemmerling McLean again was open. Now he is. They feed him. He shoots, and again, a shoulder stop by Gill. It looked like there was room in that top corner, but the Burnaby netminder is having definitely the best game of his season so far. Now Bureau, and off the turnover, a breakaway. Brown with the stick save.
Another breakaway. Another one.
Just a little careless near center floor
Sure.
with the ball are the Saints right now.
Great job by Burnaby, though.
Wall spins on Hofer. Vacates. Here's Malott. He'll step into a shot. That's blocked by Weinstein. Burnaby wants to go. Hard jab step by Syed. Mills on the forecheck. There's the 8-second count. Ross sees Mills up the play. A one-handed catch. One-on-one with Hofer. Mills eats a double team and a high stick. No penalty called there. That one certainly seemed like it could have been a high sticking call, but Burnaby may have just gotten away with one.
Yeah, got away with the turnover and got away with the penalty.
Now it's down. Is O'Brien had his stick tied up. It's still on the carpet. Big loose ball battle going on here. Who is this loose ball push going to be against? They'll say it's against Poco. Josh Adey now mixing things up, and referees want to make sure that everybody in the building is aware that they have a whistle.
They certainly have a whistle. I can confirm.
Got him. Possession Burnaby. Poco, again, have to make sure they stay composed here. Can't let the officials become a factor. Yargo on the crease dive, scores. Oh boy, look out here. Let's take a look at how Yargo got so open.
Again, that up pick here causes a little indecision and able to get the angle, maybe a little bit of a late slide, but really good finish in front. It's all about creating that split second of indecision as a two-man game. I love how Burnaby is continuing to play, though. Like, they're the underdog in this game for most people, I would say. They're up by 2 in the third period. 14 minutes left. Some teams would be a little bit more, let's just try not to beat ourselves. Let's slow it down. Instead, Burnaby's still attacking, and I like to see that.
And now more insult to injury because Poco has taken a penalty. Nolan Ross is in the box. And I think that, I mean, from the Burnaby perspective, exactly what you just said is what they like, is these teams throughout the league considering them the underdog. They probably like that mentality of being able to surprise some groups.
For sure. Plays to your advantage.
And now Josh Mills will start off the possession. Poco needs a goal now. The momentum feels way worse than what the score is. This is just a 3-goal deficit. I mean, I've seen, I mean, you've seen as well, so many of these Poco players throughout this lineup be a part of comebacks much larger than 3 goals.
And I think what we're seeing here is just one team believes in what they are, believes in who they are. And for the Saints, maybe it's going to take one of those experienced players to show us who they are this year, because we don't know.
This feels like a crucial penalty kill for Poco. Lucas at the point. Battiston starts to make his move, and Brown is able to swallow that rebound. Now Josh 80.
It's a potential turning point right here, though, if you can kill this off.
Mills and Hofer have done battle all evening long. Remember, Hofer had that big slide and hit on Mills. Gives him a couple of whacks on that bottom hand. Wall gets that separation. Now it's Sagu's opportunity on Mills, and Josh Mills with a shot through the defender. And I mean, the killing of the clock is the most important thing there, but Mills trying to, well, I mean, not sure if he's trying to get that one on goal or if he's just trying to make a little contact with the defender. Regardless, killing a little more of the penalty down.
Burnaby, run your best play here. Big difference between 3 and 4 goals.
Yargo to Lucas, usually quarterbacking. Now he's at the shooter position. Battiston is denied by Brown. Remember the last time Poco was down a man, I mean, you said it, Brown has to be their most important penalty killer, and so far he has been.
Yeah. Right on that near side there. He stopped it that time.
Malott. The penalty to Nolan Ross has found its way down to 15 seconds. I haven't refreshed my stats page, so I'm kind of wondering if he may have gotten a misconduct for something, because 8 seconds left on the penalty. His helmet's still on. Big hit. Malott down on Morrison. This looks like it could get ugly. Oh boy. Mills has the handle on Harish Blight. Everybody finding a dance partner here. No punches have been thrown just yet.
What is the Nolan Ross penalty?
Just going to refresh my stat sheet as we speak and just see what the situation is, because, yeah, his time has wound down.
And he is not moving.
I only see 2 minutes on the sheet, so, I mean, he should be out, unless there's a misconduct handed out, but it's not on the sheet.
And this is probably the worst possible situation that could happen for Poco. They have their 2 leading scorers in the penalty box. That's exactly what Burnaby wanted, was to get them frustrated, right?
And I can see in the Burnaby bench, there's Luke Harish Blight, and I have to imagine it's Sean Morse is the other defender. I mean, that's for Burnaby, that's a fantastic trade-off.
Great trade, yeah. And if you're Poco, it's going to be that much harder to come back without those 3 guys, really, but 2.
So now, I mean, as familiar as you are with the Poco, I mean, specifically offense in this case, who are you looking to step up? I mean, we can already see Chris Fournier's moved over to the offensive gate with the limited options now. Who do you need to see step up for Poco with the limitations of Mills and Wall in the box?
Yeah, I think guys like Fournier and Learn can provide that versatility for the depth purpose, but you're looking at the 2 guys at the top of the gate here, Hemmerling, McLean, and Terry. Those are the 2 guys. I mean, Chase has had a great game in this game. Terry's been a little quiet. Those are the 2 guys that are going to get the ball.
Yeah, Hemmerling, McLean, as we've talked about, somebody who can score. Still some frustration coming from the Poco bench, and Burnaby, Poco's got to be careful to not take another one here, and Burnaby scores. It's Urquhart. It was hard to not be paying attention to the argument going on with the referee at center. You could probably hear him screaming, relax, and now the bench just got teed up.
Another bounce shot on Brown. I feel like that's been the book in this game, or at least one of them. I think that's been 3 or 4 goals on a bounce shot, but it's hard to maintain your focus as players on the floor when your coaches are screaming at the refs. It makes it that much harder to play, and Burnaby's taking full advantage, as they should.
I wonder if their bench has some confusion as well from the Nolan Ross situation, because, I mean, Burnaby was going into that possession with the extra man, but there was nothing up on the board in terms of there being a power play.
Right. Maybe a little mismanagement from the refs, just in terms of, like, letting the play stop until we figure out the board and then letting the play resume, but.
And something you said earlier in this period as well, a big difference between a 3-goal deficit and a 4-goal deficit. And right now, things just seem to be rolling in Burnaby's favor in every which way. And now, I mean, talked about the hill getting steeper for Burnaby. It looks like more of a mountain, or for Poco, I mean, it looks like more of a mountain that they got to climb.
Especially still down.
It is a Burnaby power play, 5-on-4. Brown with a big save, may have caught him in the mask. Burnaby with the reset. Battiston to Urquhart, who has the latest goal. Yargo. Battiston just playing a bit of pass and catch with the righties. Urquhart shoots a skipper low and bounces back to Yargo near the restraining line. Lucas, Urquhart with a nice move. Glove stop Brown. White gets the rebound. Poco can't come unglued here. Still 11 minutes left in regulation.
Poco's defense might think about taking some chances here. Jump, go early, something.
Shot blocked. Brown finds it. Looking for Neary. So White is watching him. Neary had a hard time with that loose ball. He throws it all the way up near center. Poco wants to go here by the looks of things. Josh 80. One of those heart and soul type of players. Now Hemmerling McLean, and he'll be joined by Chris Fournier as the second lefty. Cole Cameron and Elijah Terry will be your right-handed forwards. This is Terry, 3 on the shot clock. Looking underneath. He'll try the dunk on Gill, and that did find its way in, but they'll say just after the shot clock expired.
It's close.
Very close. Remember, the shot coming from below the goal line. You can score from there, but it would not count as a reset if it does hit the goalie in the back. Never mind, our official in the booth telling me that you cannot score from there. Thank you, mystery referee. Back to 5-on-5. Oh, excuse me. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it is back to 5-on-5.
That's what the board says, but I don't know if the board's accurate.
That's what I mean. Like, they got me a little confused here as well. And now the officials, Poco looks to have called a timeout here.
Okay.
So that will bring all of the penalized players out of the box. And an interesting time. I mean, of course, they want Wall and they want Mills back on the floor. But now something to remember, if Poco's in a position late where they need a final shot, they no longer have that timeout.
So you're prepared for different situations, right? Now that you use the timeout here, it is kind of smart because you get those players out and you get to set up a play potentially. You could maybe go 6-on-5 if you want to be a little bold, or you could set up a 5-on-5 play with your best players with a 30-second clock. Later in the game, you'll have to have an on-the-fly 6-on-5 that you're ready to go to.
First District Mechanical, Park and Towing, Rycor Construction.
An enthusiastic conversation between Levi Tui and the officials.
And that's why he wears the C. He can talk.
He can have these conversations and ideally not get penalized.
Yeah.
So Poco, they're going to go with their big guns, and they need them. 9:41 left on the clock. Lincoln Wall is going to start off the possession. But remember, we are back to 5-on-5. They park Malott behind the goal to start. He's with possession now. He comes out to the corner. Hard pass through the middle, deflected by Hofer. Mills has it, gets the switch. Mills to the net and scores! They're gonna count it! A big goal from Mills when they needed it most. Poco gets some life.
That's a little ad-lib after the set play goes wrong. Great defense by Burnaby. They called out the play from the bench, kind of threw Poco off. Then Mills just does it himself. Again, reaching far side for the goal. Him and Link have both scored like that multiple times this game.
And Poco needs more of that now. I think I could hear some boos coming from the Burnaby bench. They feel that should have been a crease violation. Poco gets one back, now trailing by 3. Hard hit into the wall. That sent Will Weinstein down. He bounces back up. Sagu splits between Ross and Tui. Sagu, the 5th-year defender, formerly of the Langley Thunder. He'll get A round of applause from his teammates. Battiston, the trailer is Lucas. He'll drive underneath on 80, falls forward, and no shot, says the referee, and that one does make its way on goal. Urquhart threw a few bodies, and Brown just had to punch that to the far wall.
Poco's mostly done a good job of keeping Lucas quiet the last 2 periods, but this is where he has to step up, carry the team to the finish.
Urquhart absorbs a slash. Big block by a diving Neary. It's his 3rd block of the game by my count. Now ball is down, and Lucas looking for it. Neary reaching as well. Cartwright picks it up on his own side of center, having a tough time with it. A dangerous pass in front, and Ross intercepts it.
With those new rules, you see a lot more crazy loose ball drills right there.
Most definitely. That was about as scrambly of a sequence as we've seen. Poco would benefit greatly from back-to-back goals. Cole Cameron scores! Right on cue! Gets it underneath of Arjun Gill, and Poco now has some more life.
I think Poco started to copy Burnaby here with the bounce shot. Cole Cameron, he can shoot. That's probably his best skill. Coached him a couple years ago in B1. He scored over 30 goals. Got a great perimeter shot. He's been a little frustrated this year, but it's nice to see one go in for him.
And maybe that will inject some of that confidence that you've talked about. You get one and you can just feel a little bit better. It's just that like sigh of relief, you know, to get that one off of your back.
For
and
sure.
If they can get that depth scoring and take some of the pressure off of guys like Wall and like Mills, that's going to benefit Poco unbelievably here in the last 7.5 minutes.
Especially for players like Cole who are more kind of emotional based, right? They feed on that energy.
They need that energy now. Feels like the understatement of the year. Tui with a good wrap check. Welch, battled through it. Fournier with a nice pass on the backhand. Meach has got to go now. He'll fire towards the line. O'Brien was right there to play safety. Now here comes Mills. Trailer is Chase Hemmerling-McLean, who just picked up an assist on the Cameron goal. Milan robbed by Gill.
And that's the type of save you need if you're Burnaby. Wow, what a save.
My, oh my, what a game Arjun Gill is having here. Poco cannot get frustrated. Getting looks, sooner or later, they're going to start to drop. Wall avoids the crease. He wants the dunk, and Gill read that the entire way.
I'm not sure how many times the Saints are going to run the play that Burnaby's calling from the bench in a row, but we'll see if they adjust.
Lucas just saved the back over at center. Cartwright to Lucas, open in the middle. Ross with a big hit, and Brown with a big save.
A great slide by Ross. He looks a little banged up coming to the bench here. Big hit though.
That is a size mismatch. Nolan Ross listed at 5'9". Oscar Lucas at 6'3".
Nolan Ross doesn't see size.
Now Mills. Hemmerling-McLean off the bench. Mills has it again. Here's Terry. He'll shoot, just missed. That'll bounce back towards center. Picked up by Harish Blight. Battiston off the bench into the offense. Urquhart to Cartwright, swing. Welch dropped it. It's down onto the turf. O'Brien will take it away from him. O'Brien runs straight through his man.
Underrated play by O'Brien to get that over in 8 seconds. You lose another possession there with 5 minutes left, down 2, that would be big.
Yeah, keep your eye on the clock here, folks. Just over 5 minutes. Malott with a worm burner, can't beat Gill.
Poco has to start to think about defensively how much they want to press and try and get the ball back now.
Behind the play, Lincoln Wall went down. He's back up in time to send Luke Neary onto the floor. Urquhart gets the matchup with Neary. Battiston, and those two will switch. Urquhart from the corner now. 7 on the shot clock. Pass through the middle. Scores! A huge goal for Burnaby. And Yargo able to get over top of Brown.
It's like up pick, off ball, and then the back cut on top of it. Again, pretty good defense there. Just really perfect pass and a great reach over Brown.
Have to imagine. I mean, this feels
Huge goal.
Huge goal. I mean, here, but like next one feels like a massive, potentially turning point for either team. If Poco can get one here, then they're still in a pretty good spot. If Burnaby gets one, then I mean they're back in that position of the 3-goal deficit versus 4.
Well, now if you're Poco, you got to do something a little unconventional, possibly with 4 minutes left.
Here's Wall on his wrong side through the middle, and Hemmerling McLean was tied up by Weinstein. Should mention as well, Will Weinstein playing in his first career Junior A game. He's had a pretty good showing himself.
Yeah, played for the B1 team too.
Yeah, another guy that played in this building 24 hours ago. White to Yargo, a nice spin move, but 80 stayed with him. Good swing over to Cartwright, working on Donahue. Gets topside, he'll shoot, and Brown with the stick save. Fournier starting to dart, catches that with one hand on his stick.
Huge catch right there. Great play by Fournier.
Clock is at about 3.5. Shots 46-42 in favor of Burnaby. Again, Hofer comes out on Mills. Here's Wall, sidesteps his man, took a little knee-on-knee contact. Hard shot from Mills. Wall got up just in time. Backhand feed, and that's intercepted by Hofer.
It's really tough to get anything going offensively when Mills has the ball for 10 seconds running into his spot up the floor.
Now O'Brien knocked down Syed, and speaking of Mills, they are going to leave him in the offensive zone in case they can get a turnover. And Burnaby is going to leave Sagu to watch in on him. So 4-on-4 right now. Lucas to the goal, wide. No, they'll say Brown got a piece of it.
Poco has to press now. 30 seconds again for Burnaby.
2:40 on the clock. White can't get around Burford. Battiston shoots that wide. It'll bounce off the end boards, and Battiston touches that on his own side of center. Remember, Poco does not have their timeout.
Urgency for Poco, urgency. Goalie's coming now, so 6-on-5 play.
Hemmerling McLean will be the extra man. Poco needs a goal here. Hemmerling McLean over to Malott. Hard pass across. This is Mills behind the goal wall, and the dunk! And they're going to say crease. Looked like that went in, and Gill knocked his net off.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was a goal.
Looked like it from my perspective.
Okay.
Controversy. Travis Cornwall continuing to voice his displeasure with the referee at center. Now under 2 minutes to go here. Here's Yargo. Urquhart on the skip. 5 to shoot, 1:45 to play. Cartwright, a bouncer, stopped by Brown, and it goes out of play. Burnaby possession now with 1:40 on the clock. Lucas at the restraining line. No urgency right now from Burnaby, and why would they have any?
No urgency from Poco either.
80 is watching the ball carrier, Oscar Lucas. There's no press out right now. Lucas can't get underneath. There's just 1:15 on the clock. Oscar Lucas continuing to kill that off as Brown makes the stop. Up to Meach. And Meach is going to beeline back to the bench to bring on Parker Malott. Final minute of play in this third period. Burnaby leading 11-8. If Poco has a chance, they need a goal right now. That pass is deflected. Here's Wall. One more down low. Mills.
Need a shot.
7 to shoot. He will. A bouncer that's stopped by Gill. Lobbed forward, and that might be ball game, folks. Barring some sort of a miracle. Hofer gets around Neary. Spins back in the corner. 30 seconds left on the clock.
Smart play there.
White gets the cross check from Donahue. Pinned on the boards for a moment while the ball goes down. Picked up by Neary. Just 18 seconds left. Tough pass to handle for Burford. He's got 13 seconds to make something happen. Mills waits for help, but the final 5-second count will be on. Gill with one more stop. No, it went in.
I want to see that replay.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird one. I thought the matchup between Wall and Gill was going to end with Arjun Gill getting the last lap. Of course, he still will in the sense of a win.
Oh, it slipped through his arm. I see now.
That is an interesting rebound.
A little bit too late, though.
Yeah, a little too late.
Unfortunately
2.8 seconds on the clock. You just wonder how different this game would have been had Gill not gotten a piece of those chances from Wall in the second period. Just crazy saves to make on a grade A marquee player. And
Sometimes
now,
the difference is a couple stops.
game of inches, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Last second conversation at center as Poco in frustration make their way back towards their end, and Burnaby will find their second win of the season. Last year it took them almost 3 months to find 2 wins. Now they find their second win of the year before the end of the month of May, and Poco now has to try to reset because their next opponent coming up on Wednesday against the Burnaby Lakers. So you're going to get a revenge game, but you got to find a way now to somehow, actually that's a good question I'll ask you is, as a coach, how do you turn the mindset of, wanting your revenge game at the same time you probably want to park some of what you saw in this one while turning your attention to a new one? Like, what's your message if you're coaching these guys?
I think you want the emotion to be there of the revenge. You want that to be there, but you also want to focus on why did we lose, first of all, and then what we can do better to win. So they'll look at this game tape, I'm sure, and they'll see maybe some of the things that went wrong that they can adjust. What are the things that went right that we can lean into in the next matchup? And that's always the good thing about being the losing team, is you have that emotion and you also have the adjustments.
Well, 11-9 will be your final score in favor of the visitors. Mitch, this was awesome, man. I hope you come out for some more broadcasts.
Yeah, I want to do a lot more Poco games for sure, and we'll see.
You know where to find us Friday nights here at the John Bailey.
Sounds good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the entire crew of BC Sports TV. For Keith Gagne, for cameraman extraordinaire George Para, for Mitch Milani, I've been Tino Farah. We've been BC Sports TV, and we will see you next time.